Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. We're about to jump right into Ready to Love. This is episode 5. This is the episode with the messy truth or dare. Let's just jump right into it. Y'all got my Stella Rose tonight. Oh Lord, I thought I had my phone on. Do not disturb. Hold on a second, y'all. Hello. Bye. I'm still on live. Lord, I done messed my computer up. Okay. Well, y'all, that was my friend. She outside. I gotta open the door. Hold on real quick. Let me open the door from my cell phone. She told me she was coming over at 4 o'clock. She's so late. Y'all in the chat, I'm coming. I had to open the door. I can't even believe. Hey, Inga. Hey, Davion. I'm still here. Okay, good. Good, because my computer looked messed up. But she texted me talking about I'm cold. I'm outside. I think she came in. Let me look at my security camera real quick. I could tell if she came in. I can't tell. But anyway, Tamiko, girl, I told you I was doing a live.
Yeah, you can open the door.
I know you was calling while I was on the live and it messed my computer up.
Oh Lord, I'm sorry.
Say hey to everybody. You ain't got to get on the camera. Just say
hey everybody. Sorry.
Okay. Let's get into the episode. Ready to Love, episode 5. This is the messy Truth or Dare episode. We left with the cliffhanger. Who going home, AP or Precious? AP goes home. I'm not mad at AP for going home. I didn't like the reason they gave. They felt like she was still, have feelings for her deceased husband. But I'm sure when your husband passes away, you always gonna have feelings for that person. Like I have friends who have lost their spouses and have gotten remarried, but every year they still have like a birthday celebration or they honor the memory of their deceased spouse, and the new spouse don't feel no kind of way. So I felt like they shouldn't have used that as the excuse. But AP could go. She was boring. She was the only one in a full cover up, wasn't showing no skin. She ain't look like she was ready to love. So bye AP. A lot of people wanted Precious to go. Precious will probably go home next. You ain't got to worry about Precious for too much longer. Davion, what does this mean? Tori thought I was going to play with my frog. I don't understand what that comment means. Okay, let's move on. So they decide to eat this dinner. Dakia is bragging like, oh, chef ain't asked me, tell me he was going to make this for me, but I told him I wanted some shrimp pasta and he made shrimp pasta. Okay, girl, don't nobody care. So Clifton gets up and makes Carmen, the color contact girl. Well, it's 2 color contact girls now, but Carmen, the number 1 color contact girl, he makes her a plate. And I'm like, where's Joy's plate? Like, why? That was kind of off to me. Like, of all people, you want to make a plate, you make a plate for Carmen. But whatever. I don't care nothing about that. Nice gesture. Laverne wants to play Truth or Dare. You said Truth or Dare was needed. I agree. Precious isn't my favorite, but I didn't like the way Demetrius was talking about her in his confessional. A lot of people not here for Demetrius, so oh well. My computer's so messed up I can only see one comment at a time. Inga, you done jumped all the way to Wiley. Let's get to this truth or dare. Laverne wants to play truth or dare, and everyone thinks truth or dare is a messy game. They really don't want to play. So I'm like, why did y'all play? Y'all could have said, let's do something else. Let's have a conversation. And really, Laverne wanting to play truth or dare isn't messy. You all asking the questions that you all asked within truth or dare was messy. So you all were the ones who made it messy. But let's move on. The new lady, Christina, she was dared to go touch the chest of the person she feeling the most. And she go run over and touch Paul's chest. And I got something to say about Paul in a minute. Because throughout this episode, I kind of forgot why we dislike Paul. Like, he wasn't that bad this episode. I know it's a reason why we don't like him, but yeah, like now Laverne is the one on my last nerve. But everyone is like, oh, you 31, he 48. That's too much of an age difference. I don't think it's that bad. Tina gives me, one, she don't look 31. We need to look at her driver's license. No shade. Just an observation. Number two, she seems a lot more mature than 31. So I don't really see them 31 to 48 being a problem. Okay, let me go back to what Davion's saying. It's a scene from a class act. Tori thought he had Sabrina on lock, but Demetrius said, I got her, big dog. I was making a joke. I like that movie. You referenced the movie in our age category. I appreciate that. The young people don't remember class act, but I don't remember that joke. I'm sorry, I didn't get that one. You don't care for Laverne or Demetrius. It's Evita. It's so many people this season that I don't care for. Pretty much, I really don't care for none of the men but Clifton, but I just don't trust Clifton. And the only ladies I like are Dakia and Joy. Everybody else can go home. But let's Joy has to kiss the person she got the best connection with, and she go run and kiss Clifton. That's not no big deal. We all know Joy and Clifton. To me, they're the only couple with any chemistry. I do like Dakia and Eric, but Joy and Clifton are the only couple with any chemistry. Carmen rolling her eyes, talking about how dare she kiss Clifton and he done just made me a plate. I'm kind of turned off that. Girl, calm down. I don't even know why you think Clifton liked you. He was the one talking about you in your color contacts. Carmen asked Dakia asked Carmen a really good question. She said, is there a man here for you that you're really interested in? Or are you just playing around in our faces with the selection that's put before you? And I said, oh, that's shade. Because I believe Dakia picked up on the eye roll that Carmen threw to Clifton and Joy. And of course she lied and was like, yeah, I'm here. I got genuine connections with a couple of people, one, maybe two. Girl, all you have is a pregame alliance with your friend Eric. And that's it. Let's move on. Sabrina has to nibble on the ear of the person she's feeling the most. And everyone is like, girl, go on over there to Tori. And then Sabrina acting like, oh, I got to think about it. She taking like 5 minutes. I'm like, girl, nibble on the ear. You could have nibbled on both of their ears and been done with it. But she picked Demetrius, Tori in his feelings. Demetrius now has to kiss the person he feeling the most. And of course, Demetrius went over there and kissed Sabrina. Tori is doubly in his feelings and get up and walk away from the table. And I'm like, sir, this is a dating show. You supposed to date around. It's not her fault that you don't want to date around. So I don't know what to tell you. Carmen needs to get in line behind Joy and Dakia for Clifton. Let me tell you, Clifton probably can pull all of them. I don't trust him. He seemed like a player to me. He seemed like a player to me. But Clifton does not want Carmen at all. I've been said Ace isn't needed on the show, and I like Ace. Ace probably has the best personality, the most kind heart, the most genuine responses on this show. But this not the show for her. I don't like any of the men either, Inga. The only reason I like Clifton is because he's attractive and he has that voice. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't like his ass neither. I'm sorry, y'all, if I can't see all the comments. My computer screen messed up and I can only see one comment at a time. Okay, I already said that comment, so let's move on. Can we speed through these group dates? Because I only got about 15 more minutes. Joy take everybody on a group date. She have a little pep talk with Wiley. Her and Clifton flirt around. They had an adult jungle gym. It looked fun. Move on. Nothing popped off there. Sabrina and Tori have a conversation. In this conversation, I appreciated it. I really think Sabrina looks better with Tori. But what I don't like about this conversation, Tori says he just wants open communication. He felt embarrassed because Sabrina never told him she was even interested in Demetrius, which I guess in a show like this, they do always talk about who at your top, who at the bottom. And I hate those conversations, but you could be open with the person that you're dating, like, I'm interested in you and you. So at least they would know. So I guess he was caught off guard by the kiss. Whatever. What I don't like about this situation is I feel like, yes, Tori, you need to move around. You need to date around, see if you have connections with anyone else. But Sabrina has already said she liked men to fight over her. So if she would have never said that comment in the past, I would have never thought, I would have been like, Tori, you tripping. But the fact that on camera, she spends majority of her time with Tori, and then she flirts with Demetrius. For her to kiss Demetrius, nibble on his ear, that to me made me feel like she just wants Tori to come fight over her, to come fight for her, as she says. Like, she likes the attention of multiple men. So I feel like this was her way of getting the guys jealous and kind of fighting over her, like, oh, I really want to be with you, and I really want to be. I feel like this is the game for Sabrina. And after this episode, I was kind of like, I see you. I see through you. I know what you're trying to do. She probably don't want neither one of these men. I think she just likes her ego strokes of having men fight over her. And that's not what this show is about. You think he's going to move on from her? I hope he does. Now, he over here looking at Precious. Precious ain't the one. I really don't see. This show has so many people that are at the opposite ends of the spectrum from each other. Like, I don't see anybody else for Tori to jump to. I'm happy you understand what I'm saying about Sabrina. It felt like she used Truth or Dare to get these men to be like, okay, you see, I'm in, y'all both want me, so now let's fight. Now both of y'all could try to date me, and so I could make a choice. And I don't like that. I hope he moves on from Sabrina, and Sabrina is left in the dust. You said Sabrina is not the one to fight over. I mean, she's cute, but Precious does seem ditzy. Okay, we all on the same page. Let's move on. Carmen and Paul. Carmen and Paul have a date, an interesting date. Paul did do something disturbing where he was like, you want my pickle? And I thought he was making a sexual joke. That could have just been my mind. But he then was like, no, my pickle. You want my pickle? And then Carmen is like, feed it to me. And she was like, she said women like to be fed. Now, mind you, I think it was the other week. The other week I had my husband watching this with me for whatever reason. And they was talking about feeding each other. And I was like, I really don't like to be fed. But we was eating some, snack. And I said, feed me this. And he reached over and fed it to me. And I was like, So I'm like, that shit isn't sexy to me. I don't know. I could feed myself. After about 2 years old, really 1 years old, your parents put that spoon in your hand and you start feeding yourself. I don't find it sexy to be fed things. I don't know. And then they was feeding each other and eating off the same fork in the midst of COVID. I was like, this just looked nasty to me. But in this scene, I was like, Paul isn't that bad. And then he had a group date when he was dancing and joking with everybody. And I was like, why don't we like Paul again? Because he's really not that bad. I'd rather be with Paul than Laverne crazy ass and Wiley young ass. I don't know. He didn't seem that bad. And I was just wondering, like, I know I was turned off from the post office comment episode 1. But it's like now, I don't know. He doesn't aggravate me as much. I guess because there's some other men that aggravate me even more. Tina and Donovan go out on a date. They ain't bond over nothing but vision boards and Gemini daughters. I was like, move on. Okay, then this is the group date where it's Paul, Tina, Laverne, Tori, Dakia, and Ace. Ace was up there twerking. I was like, at least she's showing us her fun side because Ace is usually boring. Laverne is pressing hard on Ace. And he made a comment in the confessional to where I can't wait for Laverne to go home. He was like, I need to make it to the end, so let me talk to Ace. I agree, Inga. I'm going to get to Wiley at the end. He is a very nice young man. He seems very respectful. And I think he is ready to love, just not with any of these people. But we'll get to Wiley at the end. So now I see Laverne for the game he's playing. He just wants to make it to the end of the show, and he doesn't care who it's with. He really wants to be with Joy, but he knows it's going to be hard to break Joy away from Clifton. And none of the other ladies really like him, so he's going to latch on to Ace for a vote. I wish they would have voted his ass out this week, but Laverne is talking to Tina now, and he's the one now that I'm looking like, Davion, I understand what you're saying, but when we get to the end of the episode, Paul is the one, he got more top votes than anybody. Everybody want to be with Paul now. I think because they done started to see the true colors of everybody else. I think Laverne just likes to talk. He talking about frying chicken and can't nobody fry chicken like him. And then he talk about, oh, he work out, look at my body, this, and look at touch my ass, that. And then he's a fucking idiot. This is what pissed me off the most, the whole episode. Tina is like, I heard you're from the South. Where you from? And he was like, yeah, baby, I'm from Gary, Indiana. And I said, well, shit, if he from the South, I'm from the fucking South too. Because Gary, Indiana ain't but 45 minutes from Chicago. So, when did the Midwest become the South? I'm like, what map is he looking at? Because that's clearly way up north. That's damn near close to Canada. But okay, in his mind, Gary, Indiana is in the South. I said, so he dumb too. Not only does he get on our nerves, but he's dumb. Let's vote him off. He not ready for no love. He did. I don't think he realized he embarrassed himself. I don't think he realized. I think he really think Gary, Indiana is in the South. And then he talking about, I'm from the city with the king of R&B. And I'm like, I know Bobby Brown was from Gary, Indiana. I thought Michael Jackson was. Because I'm like, the king of R&B is Bobby Brown. He ain't from no Gary. Is he? Shit, I don't know. I thought I was a fan. But he was talking about Michael Jackson. I was like, please get him off our TV screen. He was crazy for that whole conversation. I was like, oh, turn off. Let's get to the ladies' lounge. Let's get through this real quick. Tina is feeling Paul and Donovan. Okay. Carmen is feeling Eric the most. And I'm like, that's your pregame alliance. But Carmen also likes Paul. Michael Jackson is not the king of R&B. Michael Jackson is the king of pop. The king of R&B is Bobby Brown. Tamiko, who the king of R&B?
Bobby Brown.
Yeah, I thought it was Bobby Brown. Michael Jackson is pop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then Carmen also likes Paul. Dakia likes Eric. I like Dakia and Eric too. Ace likes Laverne and Tori. Ace and Tori did have a good conversation. I wouldn't mind I would not mind Ace and Tori dating. Tori should focus on Ace, not Precious. I think Precious needs to go ahead and go home. Precious like Paul and Donovan. And I'm like, Precious can't read the room. Donovan can't stand Precious. And then Sabrina likes Demetrius. So let's move on. She didn't say nothing about Tori. Mm-hmm. Oh, you said R. Kelly is the king of R&B. But see, R. Kelly came after Bobby Brown. Now, I do agree R. Kelly is way better than Bobby Brown. But Bobby Brown got the title. Or did Whitney Houston just give him that title? Did Whitney Houston just give Bobby Brown that title? Or do we?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think Whitney gave Bobby Brown that title.
So why you get me the line?
I don't know. But elementary school Angie liked Bobby Brown. That was my first crush. So he could be the king of R&B. Now, who's at the bottom? Ace says she don't like Clifton. Okay, girl, I get it. But then Carmen says she don't like Clifton. And I put in my notes, girl, you just hating. She's a hater. She's talking about Clifton made me a play and then he gonna get kissed by Joy. And I'm like, girl, Clifton ain't never even want you. He was just playing in your face for a vote. That was it. Pretty much everybody else doesn't want to be with Wiley. A couple of people said Laverne. So it's Laverne and Wiley on the chopping block. Let's get Laverne out the way because if I was Precious, I would have had to make an executive decision and send Laverne's ass home and just explain it to the girls later. Like we have to do a double Shantae, they both go away. Because Laverne would have had to go. So Precious meeting up with Laverne and she like, I just want you to understand. I just saw Inga's comment. She said Whitney Houston was on that stuff and gave him that name. Whitney Houston probably did give him that name. I don't care. Let's move on. That was funny though, Inga. Okay, let me put my Stella Rose down. Back to what Precious and Laverne. I agree. Precious was giving Laverne a rundown. She was telling him exactly what he needed to hear about himself. Laverne gives me the type of man that doesn't like to hear about himself. So he wasn't focusing on what she was saying and he was focusing on just trying to be right and argue with her. So Precious said Truth or Dare was messy. I don't agree. That's one thing I'm on be on Laverne's side. All he did was suggest they play. Everybody else asked the messy questions. And then I said too much. She says he's guarded and a little bit narcissistic. I said not a little bit, he a lot of bit narcissistic. He comes back and he was like, well, I don't trust y'all. I'm gonna be just let my guard down. I don't know you. And I'm like, you're supposed to be getting to know people. How are you gonna get to know somebody if you don't let a wall or two down and open up? Like, really, all Laverne does is walk around and say, grab my ass. Feel my ass. It's so hard. Feel my ass. That's all he does. At the end of the day, the way Laverne would have responded, I would have said, well, you can go home. You're not ready to love. But, Precious was like, well, you ready to love. Some of the ladies want you to stay. Whatever. Now we get over to Dakia talking to Wiley. I would have rather had Wiley stay over Laverne, but really, no one likes Wiley. Ace thinks she likes Laverne, but I think Ace just wants to be on the show. I'd rather Ace talk to Tori. But anyway, um, the main concern with Wiley is I guess he went out on all these dates, but he never tells anyone he's interested in them. Like he hasn't showed his cards. Like I like you, I want to focus on you, or I want to date you. Um, Wiley is still young acting to me. I think he's a really sweet person. I really do. I think he's a really nice person. These ladies just are at a different level than him. And not saying that level is higher or lower. They're just in two different places in life. And there's nobody here for Wiley. I hope he does find love. He's a handsome young man. I'm sure he can pick up a woman in DC. There's a whole bunch of single women in DC. Or they're supposed to be in Potomac, but we really know it's DC. But by Wiley, next week looks really spicy. I see a lot of fussing and a lot of fighting. We finally gonna get to that scene where Demetrius and Laverne telling people what they can and cannot say in the gentleman's lounge. And I did forget, Laverne said the women should come to him. And I think he kind of like Sabrina. He probably used to women fighting over him. He probably think he the finest thing walking. Well, sir, you ain't even the finest person on this show. But he probably used to women just chasing him. But if you got so many women chasing you, what you doing on TV? Anyway, Wiley, like Joy said, you got to move and get to the point. You do. At least open your mouth and say, I like you. But I think even if Wiley would have said he liked somebody, they don't like him back. And I think Wiley could probably feel that these women don't want to be with him. And he probably just milking his time on TV, get as much screen time as he can. And it is what it is. But I'm ready for next week. I'm really ready for it. I ain't never want this season is starting to feel like last season. Like I really don't, I'm not invested in any other relationships. I think 85% of the cast is on bullshit and just want to be on TV. The other 15% really want love, but they stuck with a whole bunch of people that just want to be on TV. And the only couple I really, really see it for is the Kia and Eric. Because as much as I like Clifton and Joy, I don't trust Clifton. Inga, you say this season is worse than last season. I don't think it's worse. I'm still a little bit entertained. We're going to see if they spice it up. It's still somebody that's got to creep in somebody else's bed, and it seems like it's going to be some foolishness coming down the line. So I can't wait to see it. But you all, I'm about to end this here. Go ahead and like this video. If you're on the rewatch, like the video and get in the comments. Let me know what you think. We'll have a good time in the comments. I got to get prepared for my next live with Charles. I got to switch over to Charles's channel. And we're going to have a good time. You entertain too, but you know it's all BS. I agree, girl. We just got to watch for the entertainment factor, and that's it. And that's it. But please come join me, Charles, and his mother. We're getting ready to do RuPaul's Drag Race over on his channel, Charles Warren Online. And then I'm going to take tomorrow off. I'm going to do a couple of tax returns. I got a ton of tax returns I got to do. And then I'm going to get prepared for, Let's Break on Monday morning. Please come over every day at noon. I have a new segment on my channel where on our lunch break, we just get together and talk bullshit and hot topics, and we have a good time for about 15, 20 minutes. Every Monday through Friday at noon, Let's Break. So go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm pushing to that 1,000. I'm getting there. I'm getting closer every day. And I will see you all either on Charles' channel or I'll see you Monday. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.